Look at all the
Oh, baby.
smoke.
Smoke and mirrors. I just ate some cannabis honey, some pineapple terpenes or something like that.
I feel like that shit always does you dirty.
I like it dirty.
I ain't saying it's a bad thing.
Maybe that's my problem.
I feel like every time you eat the honey, like 10 minutes later, you're like, whoa, I think I ate a lot of honey.
It's just so delicious. I can't control myself. I'm a little honey bear. I know. So
Welcome
I'm like,
back.
good luck. Good luck to us both.
What episode is this?
8.
Oh, no, 9.
8.
Well, welcome to episode 8. We're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
And apparently a little
How long does the honey take to hit you?
comfortable in our bodies. I'd say I'll be feeling it in like 15 to 20 minutes.
All right. Welcome back to Frequency Broads. We are here. We made it back another week. You never know with us. You never know. But that's how you know we're authentic. Because if we don't want to do it, we ain't going to do it. But here we are. We're doing it. We're doing it for us. We're doing it for you. We're doing it for the weed.
And sometimes it has nothing to do with whether or not we want to do it. We've shown up. We've wanted to do it.
Oh my God, yeah.
We trust that we get on here when the time is right and we'll say the things we want to say to each other. And I think we're going to take it. We're going to take a little step back today. We're going to roll things out a little differently for y'all.
Mhm.
So come along on this magic carpet ride.
I just watched Aladdin right before we started recording.
Really?
Yeah, I just got called to watch it. Girl, okay. We're in it. We're in the same field. Here we go. Should we do a little freak check?
Yeah. Freak me first.
Oh, I'll freak you anytime, girl. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, yes, what's your freak check?
She's ovulating, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between.
I wish I finished.
Oh, wait, that's okay. We just got her up on Stardust. Stardust is a really great period tracker app. It teaches you a lot about the moon cycles. It allows you to enter in all of these like symptoms and cravings and this and that that other apps don't offer you. And they are very, very keen on protecting your data because some other period tracker apps sell your data. So if you are looking for something to track your cycle, highly recommend.
I was able to share it with Andrew. Thank you, Victoria, for letting me know that, because it's not just my job, it's our job. And I tried to get him like on his, like, you know how Apple has like the health thing and you can like track your cycle on there. So that's where I have been tracking my cycle. So I was like, oh, I'll just put in my information in Andrew's. But I guess I don't even remember if they ask your gender or what, but it wasn't an option for him to have like a period tracker, which I was like, that's kind of what about people who have a womb but identify as male? Like, way to go, Apple, not being inclusive. Surprise, surprise.
I think we have a lot of bones to pick with Apple, but we're wanting to have happy thoughts today. So we're not talking about technology during today's episode. Whoa.
See, this is what I mean. You're like, I just took a little honey, and then you're like, oh, man. All right, wait, but what's your freak check? Did you say?
No, I didn't yet.
So how you feeling, girl?
My heart is in it. My heart is feeling all the feels. I am just feeling very present. And I think as a means to want other people to show up and be more present, because I want to walk the walk and hope it inspires other people to maybe get a little clue as to like ways in which they can show up. And
Mm.
um I feel like a lot of energy has kind of felt scattered to me lately, and in the chaos I am looking for some sense of mm, I wouldn't even say structure or stability. I just want peace. I'm sort of
Mm.
like, let it be chaos and peace at the same time. And I'm here for it fully.
Okay, wait, that just reminds me. So you know the whole protect your peace thing?
Okay, wait. Yeah. So, yes. Protect your peace.
Not making fun of that, but I saw this reel that was like when someone gets mad at you or like it's just like not liking your authentic self, you could the guy was like, "Protect your peace, honey. Leave me. Protect your peace. You leave." And I immediately thought of you and I was like, "Protect your peace, girl. Got to protect it." Ah.
Well, I think to me it's a beautiful thing for me to be at this stage, because I think for so long I've been such a people pleaser, fixer, wanting
Mm.
everyone to experience their own peace to help me then experience peace. And so now I'm approaching it a little differently, where I'm putting my peace first, and then everyone can fucking figure out their own peace on their own. Or, I mean, I'll still hold space for you, but
Eye roll.
cue the eye roll. Yes.
Girl, I'm right there with you. My freak check today is so I was saying before how I was on this emotional roller coaster, and throughout the whole thing, what I was getting was surrender, surrender, surrender. Just feel it, just let it ride, just experiencing it. Just it's gonna happen. It's gotta happen. I think it was a lot of like the eclipse season release happening. And then with that shroom trip, it was like that recalibration, and they were like, okay, now you stake your claim. Like you surrendered. Now you put the staff down. Now you're like, boom. I recalibrated. I surrendered. I recalibrated. Now I like anchor in. Um, which feels good because I feel like prior, like when I was like this like confident spitfire person that I was, it came from a place of, well, I just said confidence, but it came from a place of insecurity actually, and like needing to prove myself and needing to be the strong person and not being vulnerable. But now it's from such a more anchored place where I'm just like, you protect your peace, I'll be over here. You know what I mean? Like that feeling of like, okay, if you don't vibe with me, then that's sad for you because I'm pretty damn great. You know? Like, and that may sound cocky, but I feel 100% that. I feel 100% like if you don't vibe with me, then that's your loss. Not in a mean
Or
way.
not, I
Like,
mean, it doesn't have to be a win or a loss anyway. I mean, it's just more like, okay, thank you for making it so clear that you're not meant to be in my energetic field right now.
yeah.
See ya maybe at some point or never again. And it's okay. And to be neutral about that feeling, right? Like, yes, it is truly someone's loss not to be in your life, but also you are operating in a very different energetic field than most people. And I think it's triggering or just
Oh, 100%.
I mean, there's just a lot of dissonance for people that aren't there quite yet.
And like, I 100% agree with you. But this Aries season fire in me is like, but it's still your loss because I know a piece, and like,
Bitch.
only because I know that a piece of what I do is trigger you, is bring like
Yes.
that's a point. And I'm like, if you were to just sit with the uncomfortability of like being with me in this moment, because like I'm not being a bitch, right? Like I'm not like being mean to you and then they're like, I don't want to be your friend. I'm like, that's your fucking loss. I'm like living my existence and it triggers people. And I'm like, if you need to step out, then like that is your loss because you're walking away from an opportunity to face something within yourself. So I would
Mm,
say it's an opportunity, it's a loss for everyone who is ever walking away from that challenge or discomfort. Not something that's not in alignment, but just something that's like triggering you. If you're just always running away from that, you're always going to get triggered. So it is your loss. Sorry.
I
As
know.
I
Well,
said, it's more anchored and grounded, isn't it?
well, I like the way you broke it down because I think we're so used to hearing that, like, super kind of, I don't know, to me that's icky, like, "You're lost," like, we
Yeah.
don't talk like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like taking these, like, phrases that we've heard our entire upbringing, I feel like that was, like, the type
Oh,
of
yeah.
shit that would be in every single, like, 90s
Yeah.
movie, right? But
I
now
feel
it's
like
like,
that's yeah, I feel like that's what I've been playing with a lot too, is like saying these things like when I was talking to you about intimacy and how like I've been getting intimate with other people and you were like, "Well, that's a triggering word. Like maybe don't say intimate." And I know how if I say to Andrew, I'm getting intimate with someone else, how triggering that could be. What I'm saying is that I'm being vulnerable with this person and we're both opening up. And to me, that's a form of intimacy. And I am 100% standing by that. I am being intimate with somebody and I'm not trying to hide that from you. I'm trying to let you know that in this intimacy with somebody else, it's shining a light on what we have because that vulnerability is talking about you, is talking about our relationship, is talking about how we first met. And that shows me how much I love you. But I'm really, what this Aries season is bringing up for me too is like the words that make you feel uncomfortable, if they're true to me, and I'm talking about myself, then I'm going to use them. So, like, if I truly feel like it's your loss and my perspective of what your loss means very different from like what we typically hear it or like intimacy and how that could be triggering. I'm like my guides are giving me such a strong like be intentional with your words 100%, and that means being truthful into what it means. We've talked about intimacy and that's what it means is to open up and be vulnerable and connect to the heart and like share that, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to use that word. And I think because of the energy I'm bringing with it, every person that I've said these kinds of things to that normally are triggering, they go, "Oh yeah, I totally get it." Like Andrew was like, "That makes 100% sense." Yeah. Go and connect with new people. Like especially if you're communicating with me about it and it's just on like a friendship level, like fuck yeah. But I feel like if I didn't use that word, then I wasn't going to be truthful to myself and I would be lying to him. So I was like, I have to say that.
wait, that no, the intimacy is triggering for those who aren't sharing it with their partner first and foremost, and I think that's where people
Yeah.
could be very triggered is like
Yeah.
if you've ever dated someone and they go and talk to someone else about your relationship and not talk to you first and like try to work things out, which is very much what just happened to me. So of course,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here listening to you say the word intimate and I'm like, actually that's like betrayal. It's like it's like all of these kind of like from my own experience and like
Mhm.
but then I'm like, yeah, I get it from where you're coming from. It's not where I'm coming from. And
Yeah.
that separation of experience that we always talk about like the best part about being human is having the human experience,
Right.
how you interpret it and how you experience it. And so like that's our greatest gift. Why are we going to like shit on someone else's like gift of their own experience based on our
Mm.
own trauma and pain? Like step the back, step the back. Oh, I need to
Step
cut that.
step the back.
I wanted to swear, but clearly I'm at peace.
Yeah. God, your peace is protected. No, but I totally get that.
Is.
And that's why I really said to you the other day, like, if me talking about like my situation is in any form like triggering to you, like I know I trigger people, but that doesn't mean that I won't respect you if you tell me I'm triggering and you don't want to be in that sphere at that moment, you know? And I think that's the difference. Like you said, it's just honestly, I was talking about this last night. It's all fucking communication. Like me just talking to Andrew and being like, "Oh, I want you to know I'm making this friendship." And like, "Oh, I want you to know that we're getting closer and like we're talking more about our like feelings and our personal lives." And like, "Oh, I want you to be a part of this as well. Here's how I'm going to bring you into this, you know?" And at any point, if you were to communicate to me like this makes me feel uncomfortable, then it's my choice. Obviously, the choice is Andrew. That's hands down an easy choice for me. But like ultimately it is my choice to say, "Well, I understand it makes you feel uncomfortable, but XYZ, right? So for me, it would be, it makes you feel uncomfortable, then it's done because that's the choice that I'm making. But when people don't communicate, it's like, you got nothing.
You know, I love taking a word and us dissecting it, giving it a brand new meaning. And I think with intimacy, why not experience the full gamut of like intimate moments? That's
Mm-hmm.
so gross, wasn't that? Hold on, was it intimate
The
moments like a
full gamut of intimate moments. I'm like,
all
okay.
right, snip, cut, bye. I also want to like, I think of flirting as one of those words where I'm showing up and I'm being present and I'm acknowledging someone in a way that makes them feel seen. To me,
Mm.
that's how I've interpreted flirting. But I think if you were to ask any, well, hetero man that I've asked, right? And they're like, nope, it's hitting on someone, trying to get their number, trying to like take them out to dinner. Like, and so flirting, and maybe men take a page out of my book because I think we all deserve to be seen and not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily objectified in a way that's demeaning or like purely for play and fun and sexualization of a human, but as acknowledgement, like they're a piece of art and you want to worship them and honor them. And yeah, so I don't know. You know, I love to flirt.
And I think you said this the other day. Weren't you talking about how we put too much emphasis and focus on romantic love instead of platonic love? Not, I think both are so beautiful and needed, but that's something that I've really been exploring with my girlfriends and like my other friends, just being like, I want to show you that I love you because I do. And that doesn't take away from my romantic relationship because it's a different kind of love. But ultimately, like, I do love you. And everyone does want to be seen, heard, and accepted. So why can't I show you that without it having to be like, and then we go on a date and I fuck you? Like, no, no.
Well, I like to spin that even further where I'm dating my girlfriends. Like I am
Mm-hmm.
feeling romantic. I like to, do thoughtful gestures or like those romantical things that I would do for a significant other. But, since I am single right now, I want to date my girlfriend. So if I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen you in a while, call me up. Let's go to dinner. I miss you. I love you. Um, yeah, flirting, intimacy. Like, where are we going with this
I
episode? I'm
don't
so
know.
curious.
I don't know. But I just realized
Miss
my sleeve is inside out.
I'm like Miss Post ovulation window.
Oh God, I
Okay, all
know.
right, here we go.
Just stripping real quick. I'm like, flirting and intimacy.
It's a
Wait,
very
do you want to know
sexy
something
top.
crazy? Thank you. Do you want to know something crazy? When Andrew and I were in therapy last, I brought up to the therapist and Andrew, like, I was feeling really like guilty because I was starting to become intimate in this way. But I realized like that is a requirement for my friendships, is for us to be vulnerable with one another and to want to help each other grow and support one another. And like that's crucial. And just as I'm telling the backstory, right? Andrew's like grabbing another cup of coffee or something. And I said, and then I started to feel guilty. And just as the word guilty came out of my mouth, the fire alarm went off in the yoga room. It did 3 beeps, stopped. And I just went, okay, I'm not guilty. There's no reason for me to be guilty. You're telling me to stop on that note right now because there's no point in exploring that further. You didn't like, okay, sure, you felt like maybe that little bit of guilt, but like for what? For what? It also came up again with something else. We were in the middle of a conversation and then went off and I had to get up. I'm like, they're just telling me to shut up today.
Well, I think you're touching on something that's like a really key note to making a long-term monogamous relationship happy and quote unquote successful, right? Or just to maintain the longevity of it and to
Mhm.
keep choosing that person.
Mhm.
And you are giving yourself this like freedom to explore something that historically has been condoned, and we would all be made to feel guilty because you are not to be intimate with anyone other than that one person. And
Mhm.
that's such bullshit. And then I think about people in like poly situations or just open relationship situations, and how often are they like really going deep? And it's so circumstantial that I'm not even going to go down that path, but you know, th- using sex as a tool to be intimate is, I think, one of like the last stops on like the pyramid or the staircase
Mhm.
to enlightenment or to your soul's evolution. And you know how I feel about hookup culture today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um but like, gosh, we really did kind of miss those initial steps in how to connect with someone and to do
Yes.
it guilt free regardless of their gender or non-gender. Like it's about two hearts and minds connecting and to get new perspective and to have a different container. And I think when two people come together, it's always the science experiment of like, what is it going to bring out in you? What is,
Mhm.
what's like the chemical reaction within your brain and your heart and your gut and your every body part,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
We are these elemental human figures. Like, it's completely normal and healthy to respond differently, but to have someone hold space for you and to sit in a new container,
Yes.
that is what gives you new perspective. It's not the other person sharing their opinion as the light comes out and I'm like a
Yeah.
glowing angel on his wrist.
Sharing my opinion.
Here's my opinion.
No, but I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, oh, what did you say?
Short term memory loss is
Uh,
often a side effect of ascension.
uh, oh, that's thank you for saying that because that clicked it back in for me. It's that piece of intimacy is you literally like allowing your walls to come down for your frequencies to exchange. And we should consistently be doing that because that's how we share information. That's how we share energy in like hopefully a healthy way. But ultimately, it comes down to choosing who you're going to give that extra piece to, right? That romantic piece to. So, like, people come in and out of my life and I choose to be vulnerable with them and I choose to open my field and merge energies with them just by conversating, right? Just by connecting our hearts and mind. And then I still get to choose after I meet all these other people who like am I going to stay with Andrew? Right? And that's what makes a long-term relationship work is that even when I'm meeting new people and feeling this new container and being like, "Wow, this is really nice." I'm still like, but this is the container I want. I want Andrew. Doesn't matter how comfortable or fun I am with my girlfriends or my other friends or whatever. Like, this is the person that I want because ultimately it's the container that supports me best. It's the container that makes me feel my most authentic and free. So, long term relationships, at least in a monogamous sense, is consistently choosing that person over and over. And when these other people come into your life, right, that's always, I feel like that's everyone's fear. Like in my past relationships, it's been like, oh, is this other person in my life because I'm not supposed to be with this person that I'm with? Oh, they're showing me what I could have. And it's like, nope, that's just another fork in the road for you to say, am I choosing this person again? And how beautiful it is when you do choose that person again.
But girl, I think ultimately what I'm seeing is by you continuing to choose Andrew, you're choosing yourself because you're
Mhm.
choosing to stay in all of the uncomfortableness that comes, in the boringness that could come from a long
Yeah.
term monogamous relationship. And as I've watched you kind of like navigate this, it's I think one of the most, because I am such a self sabotager. And so I'm really
Mm.
looking to you as like, oh, you're choosing this for yourself consistently and how
Mhm.
it's allowing your soul to evolve and grow at such a rapid rate because You have that safe container, love, and trust.
And the safe container that also, like you said, challenges me to grow.
Mhm.
And there, loop back around, it's not my loss, right? Like if I were to walk away when things just become uncomfortable or boring or whatever, instead of choosing that and seeing what we can do to reconfigure, reconnect, do whatever, then it's my loss because I'm not growing. I'm not like, now if I put in the effort, if I'm doing the work and it's still uncomfortable and now it's not a good container anymore, then then walking away is the right choice. But not just when it becomes uncomfortable because of growing pains or because I'm triggered by like my past in a healthy way.
Wait, I swear I just read something this morning and it will take me 2 seconds to find, but it was talking about how, casual sex, right? And how it's here it is. Sex is an energetic exchange and completely ties you to someone for the rest of your life. This is why you shouldn't have loads of casual sex. Not because it's immoral, because it's like plugging a USB drive in 50 different computers and downloading all of their data. But this is why sex with someone you love can be so beautiful and powerful. It can create a higher synthesis of both of you that would have otherwise existed or never
Mm.
existed. But it's so true, and I think that, like, visualization of, like, the
Yeah.
USB ports going into,
Yeah.
like, it's a lot of information to process, and that's what it comes down to is, like, think about what that's doing to your nervous system to be computing, and then for your partner or partners to then be, like, computing, and by computing, it's probably transmutating the
Mhm.
energy,
Mhm.
and so women have enough womb work to do. That's why I'm so particular about men and who they're sharing their bodies with and, like,
Yeah.
yeah, but we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole right now because I feel like this whole season has been one of
Yeah. Um but where's that from? Is that just like someone wrote that?
yeah.
That it sounds like something from Earth, the Pleiadians.
It does, and I think it even talks about in Earth, the book, Barbara Siniak. She,
Yeah.
yeah, she channels it's something to the effect of, like, even when you're walking down the sidewalk and you make even, like, quick glances at someone, that you're exchanging data through eye contact or even just be, like, crossing through someone's field. And you know this to be true, like, when you walk into a
Mhm.
room and things feel funky or weird or really
Mhm.
good, like, or that one person walks into a room and everyone stops and looks because their energy is whew.
Mhm. Well, I think too that that really connects with what I've been trying to do more for myself, whereas when I'm being intimate with other people or just like whatever, getting information in any way, I'm trying to run it. And this is something like with going to Florida, like the priestess that I emerged with, like really, I was like, oh my God, click, like, was running things through my field. So, like, connecting with other people in a non romantic way or not having sex with them, right? I'm running things through my field. I'm feeling their energy, I'm seeing it, I'm understanding, I'm gaining information. Versus when I'm having sex with someone, it's running through my body. It's like running through my DNA. So it's choosing who resonates with your frequency enough, even if it's an uncomfortable, like disharmony to find harmony for a moment here and there, like the ebbs and flows, who is running a frequency that harmonizes with yours enough that when you plug in to the computer, when you actually have sex with them or when you actually become like romantic partners with them, that you're running a code that's good for your system. Everything else should be running through your field, not your body. So that's really what, like, even with the eclipses and everything, I'm like, run through my field so I can feel it, but not hold it. It doesn't need to be in my cells.
Yeah, I like this visualization of your field running and kind of being the filter for
Mm-hmm.
this data coming in, and for the longest time, I think when I really, like, started to open my heart up and live this, like, super conscious life, I just was walking around with this, like, freaking like mile wide auric
Mm.
field that was just picking up every wounded bird in town and and at first you're like, your spiritual ego is like, oh my gosh, they're seeing
Yep.
me, they see my light, they love me, and then you quickly get zapped and you're like, oh shit, this is
Yeah.
not what I thought it was going to be like. And so using your auric field as this filter to process the information, because to me I like to do this like energetic housekeeping where
Mhm.
I really try to like visualize this like I'd say no more than 6 feet in any direction bubble, and just literally take like a hand vacuum or like a
Like a
duster or some sort of
squeegee.
a squeegee. That one's a good one too. Maybe put some essential oils in there and make it this happy little bubble for me to exist in. And that's where I've really started to play when I go out in public and I don't wanna be seen,
Mm.
putting that filter around that energetic bubble. But I've never ever thought of it in terms of, like, it letting,
Well,
data process as a filter for me.
yeah, and even you saying the word filter, I remember, like, season 1, I talked about how everything's running through the filters in your body, right? Like, your trauma or your chakras or, like, everything, and we don't need to be doing that. We don't need it to be running through these filters. And when she said that, I go, "Holy shit, how have I not pieced that before? That, like, I don't need to be running everyone's shit and even the collective shit through my physical body. I already have to run my own shit through my physical body. So let me let it run through my field so I'm aware of it without holding on to it, without having to cut cords because it's not locked in." And
Mhm.
speaking of the bubble, Christina told me again, very similar. And we've talked about the bubble and like cleaning it off versus whatever, cleansing versus protecting or whatever. She goes, her visualization is an igloo, whatever, bubble with mirrors. And she was like, you put the mirrors on the outside as like a one-way mirror and you can see it, but it's not even coming in. So, right, you have things that you allow into your body, things that you want to transmute, downloads, healing, what all that good shit, things that come into your field, what's happening collectively, what's happening for a client, what's happening for your friends. And then there's shit that you don't want to take on from other people. And you put up the fucking mirrors and it bounces right off. Like it can't even enter. And then she was like, when you're ready to do some amplifying work, you turn the mirrors in and you're bouncing everything back and forth into your field. And I was like, girl, that is crazy.
So crazy. It makes my, like, solar plexus, like, jump with glee but also, like, I don't know, I'm kinda terrified at the same time because I know how powerful this is.
Yeah.
Warning, do not try at home, but actually try at home because
Try it home. That's probably
why
a
not?
safer place. Safer place to
Definitely.
try. Ugh.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I did want to talk about, like I said at the end of the last episode, a little bit of celestial Earth because that did come up at that trip too.
Is it celestial or celestial with an R? I'm just curious,
What's like cosmic? Is it
I've
celeste?
seen both. That's why I was curious if there's a difference between the two.
I don't
She's
know.
Googling.
She's Googling. Google, Google, Google.
Oh, it's celestial.
Celestial. Okay.
There's no celestial.
Okay.
But I'm like,
Celestial.
I feel like you're always like combining words. So I'm
I
like,
am always combining words.
what's the other word?
I don't know. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just always saying it wrong. Celestial. Celestial.
Ooh.
Oh, extraterrestrial. I think that's what I'm combining. Celestial and extraterrestrial. Oh, fuck. You know what I mean.
Totally makes
Right?
sense.
That's what I'm combining.
There are 6 types of celestial beings: primordial beings, archangels, angels, pagans, reapers, fairies, and celestial gargoyles.
Where is that from?
Google. Whatever.
Uh,
Celestial just means relating to the sky or heaven. Stars and
okay.
planets are celestial
So
bodies.
celestial Earth is what I is coming through that I want to share. Okay, so basically the only thing that I really wanted to mention was another aha moment on my trip that I didn't talk about on the last episode, which was we're seeing a lot of people talk about New Earth, 5D Earth. And the concept that at least I'm seeing people talking about it is this like split, this separation, this leaving the 3D Earth. People are going to be quote unquote left behind, or potentially, like they're going to be stuck there until they're ready to go to 5D. And I think that is definitely a piece of it, right? People are going to there's layers, and people will still be on like the denser, more chaotic level for until they're ready to go to 5. And ultimately it's that Earth itself is shifting its own frequency to that of 5D. We're not separating and we're not leaving Earth. So the aha moment for me was it's not about going up and out. It's not about leaving and saying, okay, I need to go to 5D Earth. It's about getting the celestial codes and bringing them down to Earth to help Earth shift as because like she is shifting in consciousness, right? She's ascending. So as earthlings, our job, or as light beings, I should say, our job is to take the codes that we have access to up in the cosmos and bring it down here and anchor it, as opposed to being like, oh, I need to leave and go to this new Earth.
Because you can't be a human without the 3D experience. You cannot go to 5D without also simultaneously being in the 3D.
Yes. So when I like really thought about that, I was like, "Oh, I almost hate that people are saying new earth." Like hate is a strong word, but I'm like, "Oh, it's not new earth. It's earth. It's earth. You need to stop thinking of leave because that's like the picture that I perceive they're painting is that we're like leaving this behind."
Well, and I think the way that I've evolved my perception of it is that Earth is mm, it's new because we're creating something because everything is crumbling around us. And
Mhm.
so it doesn't mean it has to go away. The crumbles are still going to exist in some form because it can't be destroyed.
Mhm. And like the whole thing that came through for me too was like just us, you and I, and other groups of people that like you don't need to do this alone, but like taking these codes and being like digging them deep into Earth's core and anchoring it and just relaying a new grid, a new energetic grid, which is why I'm really interested to see like what happens after this eclipse season too. That's all I really wanted to say about celestial Earth is like I guess talking to past Tara, like you don't need to leave. You need to go and get the information and then do it down here. And that's what we're doing, right? Like that's the whole fucking thing that we're doing here is like transmitting or having transmissions come through and anchoring it on Earth, but like really seeing how important it is as like the frequency is shifting on Earth, like how we really need to be doing this.
And that's not everyone's calling, and it's so important to focus in on what you're passionate about, what brings you that joy and excitement and gives you that little, like, sparkle of
Mhm.
hope that you are contributing in your own way. Um, so I think that's more of what the exploration is for the majority, is that you find what it is that brings you life, that brings you joy, that allows you to sit in whatever it is you're facing and healing that might not be so comfortable and anchors you back. And so it balances out that kind of shitty human experience of healing and grieving. And you don't have to feel guilty to experience both at the same time.
A fucking men. We got to cut the guilt. You did something
Yeah.
wrong, take accountability and do something about it.
Yeah.
Stop harboring this guilt and shame. I fucked up. We're humans. We're going to fuck up. Just take accountability and keep on moving on with the new knowledge and hopefully making a better choice next time.
And also be aware of how you're taking on other people's shame because of what they've quote unquote done to you. You know, I've been really sitting with, yeah, betrayal is a little bitch, but like, how am I still perpetuating this person's shame? Or maybe they're not even experiencing the shame. Maybe they don't even feel guilty. I am the one feeling it. And I'm not doing that work for free. You know, like I'm not, and by free, I don't mean like monetary exchange. I mean that there's some sort of reciprocity or equal exchange of energy here.
Dude, that
So
literally,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
I mean, that's just been my lesson in this whole experience. Even though I didn't want to accept it as a lesson, I was like, oh, here are my energetic boundaries. Here is what I'm responsible for feeling and processing. I'm going to say no to transmutating your guilt and your
Mm.
shame because you're too much of a fucking coward to experience it yourself.
Fuck yes. That was fire. Yes. I feel like it reminds me of like when teachers are like talking to the class about a problem and they're like, you guys did this and there's some of you in here who did like that, and all the guilty kids are sitting there like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and all the good kids are crying because they feel guilty. You're holding on to
Yeah.
other people's shame. Like, you don't
Yeah.
need to be doing that. You're so right.
It's a waste of my time and energy, frankly.
And we're done. We're done with that.
We are done with that. And it feels really good to quickly clear that from my system and to not linger on it or contemplate it or to
Mm-hmm.
like keep perpetuating it in like my own meditations or reflections.
Yeah.
Like I can just guilt free let that shit go.
That's exactly what I meant like last episode when I was like, I'm done being, I can't find the words. It's not like being responsible or I'm done reflecting or I'm done doing the work, but like I don't need to keep doing the same shit over and over and over and over. Just fucking don't do it. Just drop that shit. And I feel like that's the celestial, I feel like I have to be really intentional saying that word now. Celestial codes coming in because it's moving that fast. It's just like, "Oh, that was a fucking stupid thing that I did. Let me take accountability. Let's drop
Yeah.
it and let's move on." Like we are just running through shit so fast because our frequency is literally like they keep showing me like literally like string, like or like wait, sound waves or what frequency waves. Hello. And like things are coming in and like trying to join, but like all the shit falling off of it because like it's like it's just like
That
so.
was beautiful.
Thank you. So it's like shit comes into our field that causes discomfort, and we just get to like stay at this frequency and be like, word, work it through, let it go, next.
That's not something they really teach us in movies, right? Like the whole art of
Yeah.
subtle energy movement exchange experience and you don't have to have a fucking demon in your corner to be experiencing these demonic vampirical energies. And so I'm like, how do I even I mean articulate subtle energy? It's like the beautiful little, like the fucking twitch in my eye that won't stop twitching right now.
Uh,
Woo!
but that's it. That's subtle energy, bro. It's the little tingle, the little itch, the something in the corner of your eye. I
Last
feel
night's
like
mascara. I'm just kidding.
oh man.
That's so funny.
But I also feel like that's why shit's been an emotional roller coaster. Because when you're like running frequency openly like that. I do combine words. Damn dyslexia. Wait.
What?
I switched. I don't remember what I was saying, but it was like two words and I switched the first letters. You know when you do that? And Emma goes, "That's whatever. There's a name for that." And I go, "Oh." And she goes, "Yeah, it's really cute. Like my grandpa used to do that all the time." I was like, "Yeah, dyslexia is so cute." And she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Girl, I literally don't care." Um,
It is kind of an old person thing though, huh?
yeah, it is. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, when you
Maybe
run
by the
your
time you get old, your brain will switch back and you won't be dyslexic anymore.
switch back, it
I
was
mean,
never the
instead of
other
it
way.
being crisscrossed, like back,
Oh.
like maybe it's a strange blessing in disguise. What were you gonna say?
Um, well, now you got me thinking, like, is dyslexia, like, what energetically would that do for me to be able to switch things like that?
Hmm.
Well, I think there's a lot, there's like things that I guess maybe they say people with dyslexia have like really good spatial awareness and like can see in 3D, which I do. Like, so maybe that helps me see more fractally. Who knows? But something about running your frequency openly. Then you feel everything and you run it fast. So I feel like I'm on this emotional roller coaster sometimes because I'm like, whoa, here it comes. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna transmute it. I'm gonna let go, and now we're done. Right. So it makes you feel like you're on this up and down, but actually that's you just like fully experiencing life.
I know we always talk about being on this roller coaster, and I'm sort of like, if I'm going to pick a ride in which I want to experience life on, I want it to be that like log one where it's
The
like you
log
get a little
flume?
bit of a, yeah, I want like a little bit of a
Love that.
thrill, but I want that water and I want that like, I want the stability of the log. Um,
That's really interesting.
and then I can just still be like watching things and have like a nice pace to life instead of the pace being like strap on, there's only one way out.
That's so interesting. I never thought about what ride, and I wonder what other people's are. Um, what ride you would be, what ride would you want your life to be? Personally, I fucking love crazy roller coasters. One of my favorite roller coasters, because I also love things that make me really dizzy. It's called the Joker at Six Flags. And it goes like this. It does like a squiggly in a circle, but then your cart also spins on its own. Like you're in like a two-seater and it spins. So as you're going on this squiggly circle, I'm spinning separately.
Mm-mm.
That's what I want my, and you know what? It is. And now that I think about it, I'm hyped that it is. Good for me. That's a cool ride.
It's gangster as fuck for you to be able to handle that because literally just hearing about it, even though my experience is very similar, I want to throw up. It is so overwhelming to the system.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I want a little break.
See, but I've been like an adrenaline junkie most of my life and then drugs and then now I'm like better, but um but I kind of this is a good perspective for me, dude. I feel like when shit gets crazy, I'm just going to be like, here comes the spin drop roller coaster ride. Here we go. Like and I can just see it from like the enjoyment of that like and then laughing. Cuz that's what I do, right? And that's so fun to me. So like that's what I'm just going to visualize everything as now. The Joker.
I'll be in my little log watching you plummet, being like, you got this, girl. So happy for you and your thrill.
I love it. Dude, the last time I went on that ride, we were at Six Flags the day before Andrew and I. This is how much I love roller coasters. We went to Six Flags the day before we left for Oregon. And we were there until like closing, and we were on the other side of the park, and we needed to get to the Joker before it closed. I never ran so fast in my life. I booked it across Six
Oh
Flags.
my God.
I made it to the Joker. It was a good time. I'm going to ask other people what their rides are. I bet you someone says the teacup. I want to know who says the teacup ride, the spinny teacup ride.
Isn't there a cute little kitty dragon ride too?
Love that.
I'll
Spinny
catch you on
dragon.
that one. Maybe the
Spinny dragon?
swings.
I love the swings.
Yeah.
All right, well. Anything else? Anything else on your mind?
2 more episodes. Or 3. I don't know. I can't do math. 2 more episodes until we're in person.
Oh, I'm so excited. Also, you know what? I've been staring at the Frequency Broad sticker. And I think I'm going to order a beanie. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to order a beanie. If you want a beanie, let me know.
Okay, I want a beanie. I want a tank top. Summer's coming, baby. Wait, a thong? Do we want a Frequency Broad's thong?
Girl, I'm thinking about so many things right now. Little crew neck, a little crop top crew neck. You know, those are my
Let's be
favorite.
unique about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No,
to
I'm
be
saying these are
basic.
you. No, these
Oh.
are unique. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm like, let's just not offer standard t-shirts ever. We want crop
I
tops. We
do
want
think it
tank
would be
tops.
dope to have um maybe get like art in the center instead of the words as like another option, and do like aliens in there, like us as aliens, and then have the name here and it on the back, and like like our logo big on the back as a
Why do I feel
baseball
like
tee.
we're gonna? Oh my God, that font. Anyways, I honestly think if someone were to try to draw us as aliens, it's going to come through. We're gonna look like fairies.
Or an elf. I'm always an elf.
Yeah, I could see that.
I just love elves.
Oh my God, I think we're done.
We're done. Well, I'm happy. I'm feeling good.
I'm
Okay, we
happy you're
love you
happy.
guys. Oh, like, share, subscribe. Wait, isn't the whole point that we just say prescribe? Prescribe to Frequency Broads. We
Does
love you.
anyone know what that means though?
Go back and listen to the others then. We have
Play a
lore
little
now.
play a little roulette. See which one jumps out to you. Gamble.
I'm going to play a little roulette. I'll let you know which one I listen to. All right. We love you. Stay weird. Bye.